Oh, is it too dark? It is too. Let me turn on. I'll turn on another light. Here, let me turn on the light back here.
Maybe we could turn this one up here.
No, not that one back there. That'll cast the light.
Not that one, but this one. The low one.
And maybe. Let's see. I'm just worried it'll distract from the background. Turn this one over here and let's turn that one off.
Okay.
There. Oh, that's better. Nice and. I think
It's
we're.
still super dark though.
Let's see.
Maybe that light a little bit, but that one doesn't come on partially though, is the only problem.
I only do the thing.
See, that's so bright.
What if we did this one, not this one? How does that look?
Okay,
Is that good?
I like it, but let's see how it looks for you.
Oh no, it's good. It's good.
Because our skin colors are obviously different. Is that
Let's adjust. Oh, okay.
so?
Yes.
So what do you like
it's
it?
fine.
I like
It's
it.
fine. It's good.
I like it.
And let's see. Are we actually live now? Let's do edit stream. Your stream will stop. No, not yet. I don't want to end stream. Okay, are we good? We're live.
Are we live?
I think we are. And let's message everybody and see if they can join. Message.
I told everybody to join 11:30.
Oh, okay. No worries.
So.
That's all right. I think
But let
we
me
had
get my phone.
You know what? Since we're playing with that, let me put this light on over here on the side and see if that works better.
Do you know at Genesis thrift store, they had a spotlight. I'm gonna go tomorrow and see if it's still there. I'm buying it.
I think that's a great idea.
If it's still available, I'm buying it.
I'm going to do this.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
And then I'm going to turn the other one off.
Okay.
And so we'll have the one here and we'll have the one there. How does that look? Is it better? Is it okay for you?
It's a little dark.
Let me move this one ahead. You know what? I can even move this one over. Because we have that giant thing here. I can move it like right over here. You should not touch that. You're gonna be so unhappy that you did that. How does that look?
Still kind of dark.
All right, so let's do this.
That's good. That's better. I think that's good. That's fine. Who's on? How can you tell who's on?
We should see them over here.
So there's two people.
Participants. Let's go look.
Is that us? It seems like somebody joined.
No, it should be somebody else. Well, if you're out there, chat with us. You know.
There's two people.
But I don't see who you are. We should see them.
I can't click that.
Yeah, it's not a clickable thing, is it? Is it a right click thing? Nope. Let's go over here and see if it's on the right. I don't care about the privacy thing. Yeah, factory participants. We'll post something and see what it says.
What do you mean? Just like say hi or something?
If you're out there, send us a chat message. And I'm going to put this on the other side because I think it's better on your side.
We are definitely just getting this together. So
Yeah, we're
the
not.
plan was to start at 11:30. So we do have 5 minutes. But we went ahead and joined so we could just figure this out.
How does that look for you? For your life?
Uh,
Is that better?
it's a little dark, but that's fine.
I can move it closer.
That's like so bright. It's like weirdly bright now.
All right, hold on. How about that?
Actually, that's good.
Okay, perfect. That's kind of one of those snaky thing. Oh yeah, that is good.
Yeah, that's good.
Perfect. Now I know our video is a little grainy. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah.
But it's not the best quality. We did not hook up our actual webcam. Next time we will.
This was definitely a last minute thing that we
Kind of
decided
a spur
to
of
do.
the moment.
So.
It's been over a year since we talked to you guys. If you're out there, give us a thumbs up so we know you're really out there. We're still like 4 minutes before we were planning to start. So
yeah, I wish we could see who. And I know I wish we could see.
Oh, there's three.
There's another
there's
person
definitely
on.
people there. So let's go look and see if we can't see participants. Usually we can.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Let's do a pop-out chat.
Okay. Doesn't have any
No,
people's
so that's not
names.
really helping. You know, text us if you're out there and you're.
Please say hi when you come on. Say hi.
We'd like to hear from you.
I'm gonna also.
And I'm going to adjust that light a little bit more just because I feel like I keep needing to tweak it.
Make sure I have my social media on. If somebody is saying hi on social media and trying to connect.
Oh, yeah. I think that's actually a little better. Well, maybe. Well, we're not video experts. We're just interested people that want to have conversations with each other and with you.
We'll
That's
get there.
who we are.
We'll get there though.
Yes. Let's see if we can do that. I don't want to do that. I'm going to go back here.
We used to be able to see who joined. I don't know why we can't now.
I don't know why we can't either. Live chat. Live chat.
It switches
Show
on.
mode.
Show mode. Okay. Save that. Chat with us.
Chat with us. Definitely chat
So when
with
you
us.
join, please say hi so we know you're on. We would love to talk to you.
And we're going to wait for another couple of minutes.
Yeah, because we told people 11:30.
And
So-
and then we'll get started talking about.
And I know the lighting is weird, so sorry about that. It's just the way it is at the moment.
At the moment, we'll get better.
Yeah.
This is our new place. You guys who have not been with us in this place before.
Yeah, it's a bigger place.
It is. It is a really great place, you know. We're excited to be here. I'm going to go on to YouTube on my phone and see if I can see more details.
One person dropped. I guess they got sick of us.
Or maybe they had a bad connection. I can just be positive.
Yeah, that's true.
On my channel. There we are.
Because now there's two. Oh, okay. So you can't hear us then. Well, that's good.
Clearly, I'm going to not have that up anymore. Well, it's 11:30.
Okay.
You know? So we're going to go ahead and start.
Well, let's get
because-
started.
Even if you watch this later, if you don't watch it live, please leave us some feedback and comments about of what you learned or what you think, what you'd like to hear us talk about in the future.
I wish there was more lighting.
I know, I'm working on it. You know what? Let me turn this one back on. Let's just turn this back on.
Okay. I like that.
I'm sure we can make that work.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Let's just do that. Let me turn the other one off on the side. So I don't think this one is necessary.
Yeah, I agree.
With that. Now, clearly, we could hire a lighting person, but we don't have one.
No, that's
So
not
it's just us.
happening ever. So. Well, I'm not going to say ever, but not tonight for sure.
Yeah. Definitely not tonight.
Okay.
So we talked with you guys, a lot of people, or anybody that would listen to us and each other, certainly. A little over a year ago was the last time we all talked.
It's been a long time.
It was early May or late April 2020 was the last time we talked. We were talking about the interesting things with COVID, and we were talking about the craziness
that's
in
right.
politics.
I think it was before all the shutdowns even.
It's kind of in the middle
We
of
were
them.
talking about how people weren't wanting to shut down, and it was crazy.
Right. And
Yeah.
so much has happened since then. So we want to just catch up. Really, we don't have a set agenda. We're gonna talk about the things that have changed for us, and if you join us, please send us a message and tell us the things that have changed for you.
Yeah, let us know that you're out there. I hope you can chat with us and
if you're having
anything
trouble,
you want to say. We can't see the people who are joining, and we would love to say hi. So if you don't mind saying hi when you join, that would be awesome.
Yes, we'd definitely love to see that. Just send us a message, chat with us. If you have trouble and you know us personally, send us a message in another format. So we can do that. But last year, late April, early May was the last time we all talked. And there's so many things happening in our world.
Yeah.
Anybody, I think there's no one new, but if you watch this video later, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Elaine.
And we live here in Deep Ellum.
In the lofts.
Yeah, in these beautiful lofts. This is a beautiful highway view behind us.
We have traffic.
Lots of traffic.
Which I love that sound. Some people don't like it, but it's
every
relaxing
now and
to me.
then we get this kind of crazy automotive sound that we think somebody has done some serious modifications to their hardware.
Yeah.
Because it's beyond normal car sounds.
It's not normal.
It's totally not normal. No, there's some like it's comic
like
book
racing,
sort of sounds, things you would hear in a comic movie.
Right.
But things have changed in the last year. Things have changed in our lives. Things have changed in all of your lives. Recently, we have a new president. I don't know what that means for everyone else. For us, for me, it means maybe a different perspective, and certainly not the worst person from my childhood evil people.
You know what? I think that is actually a good place to start. So one of the things that is, hi Judith. Judith is there. Good.
Oh,
hi Judith. Yeah.
Hi, Judith.
So one of the things.
Thank you for saying hi to us.
Judith is a Collin County precinct chair, by the way, and the diversity leader for Collin County.
Very important person. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. So, and my sister. And so anyway, one of the things that I did hear from people after Joe Biden and Kamala, VP Kamala, were elected, which is completely inaccurate, is that, okay, now we're back on track. What the hell track were we on that was good?
Yeah.
We've never been on a good track, everybody.
What year, what month were we really on track?
It hasn't
happened.
happened.
I think I've missed it.
It hasn't happened. So that's one thing we need to recognize. We have got to be diligent about assuring that policies are changed, that perceptions are changed, that people are open and honest about our real history, which includes purposeful racism,
right?
Purposeful misogynism,
yeah,
purposefully making sure that the only people who were in power were white cisgender men. We have got to be honest about that, right?
Look at there. Thank God we have a new president. And
Yeah.
the only thing I want to suggest is
That's true.
it is great that we have a new president. I'm very excited about the new president. I'm very excited about Kamala. Maybe slightly, incredibly more excited about.
Kamala wasn't our first choice, but
I'm more
she's
excited about
there,
her
so.
than Biden. To be fair, I am. I am more excited
Yeah.
about her than Biden. But to what Elaine was just saying, the thing is, and if you're a white man that's listening now or watching in the future, if you don't represent a sexist attitude, if you don't feel as though you just are deserving of whatever wonderful things come your way, then we're not talking about you. Don't take it personally.
Okay, yeah. We're not, right.
Just don't take it personally. If you don't identify with the behaviors we're describing, then we're not talking about you. Yeah. So, or perhaps just a little throw it out there. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Or perhaps spend a moment in self-reflection and think about how you've engaged with all the humans in your life to see if any of it sounds like what we're talking about. Because maybe it is you and you just don't want to, acknowledge it.
And let's be honest, this is the deal. If you grew up, this is the deal. And because I'm one of those people. Growing up in the United States of America, regardless of what race you are, there is no way that you are not affected by white supremacy. It's just not possible.
That's right.
It is so prevalent. So that's the thing. We just have to be honest about it so we can heal from it and we can move on and we can actually correct specific policies, make things heal.
All of us can do better.
Absolutely,
all of us can do better.
Absolutely.
So I know this is a little difficult for some of you. I'm white. Maybe you didn't catch that when you looked in the video here. I appear white. The world treats me as a white person. So I have benefited certainly from white entitlement. But more importantly, regardless of my color, I have been subject to white supremacy. I've been subject to if you think about it, as we break it down, the people that made the rules, the people that made all of the rules, the cultural norms, the laws that we have to live by, all of us have to live by. We're white men. That's not a criticism. Not that there isn't plenty to criticize, but that's not a criticism. That's just a fact.
No, it's a fact. Yeah.
So any of you people that
you have in multiple ways, which many people have. So first, I'm sorry, messing up. So no. as a white woman, you have because white women are a marginalized group. As a poor person, you have because poor people are a marginalized group. You're also
not that we're legally recognized as that yet.
No, poor people are not recognized as a marginalized group, but they are. Poverty is. The other thing is, as an intelligent person who sees that other people being criticized, physically beaten, whatever, because you are treating another human as an equal based on their skin color is traumatic. It is.
And if you grew up in the deep South like I did,
that is traumatic.
You definitely had that happen to you. I'm going to turn this other light off just for a moment. Just
okay.
Be right back.
Being treated like you are not, or if other people see you not ostracizing Black people, not treating people that are Black, dancing with Black people.
Yeah, which I always did, by the way.
Befriending Black people. Or not catering, another thing, as a white woman, not catering to men.
Right.
Not allowing men to do whatever they wanted to do with your body. Again, you're going to be ostracized. You're going to be told that your behavior is inappropriate.
And it's not popular. It's just not.
Yeah.
You're not following your script.
Exactly. So unfortunately, many white women continue to choose to buy into that, and to go along with it and not say anything and not make waves.
For so many reasons. There's
Um,
safety, there's comfort, there's survival, fear.
And what they're not recognizing is that they're harming themselves by doing that.
They're harming themselves, they're harming their daughters, they're harming their granddaughters, they're harming younger women. I mean, when you agree to play your role, when you don't speak out, and I make a habit, and I will honestly say, when I was younger, I didn't always speak out. I had 4 little children at home that I was responsible for. And so sometimes when the behavior was very, very obviously sexist, and this idea, if you grew up with the TV show mentality, you thought there were things you could do. You could go to HR. If your husband was beating you, you could leave him. You could just leave him. The cops would help you.
I was going to say, the police will help you, which they won't.
The courts will help you.
Well, I mean, a lot of police
judges will help you.
Beat their wives themselves.
Right. So if you grew up with this idea because of books and movies or whatever, and you thought, I'll just do the right thing, right? I'm going to be a good person, and I'm going to follow some rules. And if someone is really, really bad, if they're violent, if they're harming me, I'll tell the authorities. I'll follow the rules, and those things will get rectified. Yeah. Let me just tell you, that's not how it works. No. It is not at all how it works.
Protective orders, I don't know why. I can't remember why, but I was thinking about this the other day. Protective orders are very important. If someone is harming you, or if someone is doing something to harm you in a domestic violence situation or any other situation, it is very, very important. It's critical to put a protective order in place. Now, with that said, the person who is crazy and who is harming you doesn't give a shit about that protective order.
Right.
That is absolutely the truth.
So you know what the protective order will do?
That's the truth.
That'll tell the cops who to go arrest when you're dead, when you've been violated.
However,
and killed.
If you don't put the protective order in place,
right,
and something happens to you, and let's say you're not dead, something happens to you and you're beat up, whatever, then they won't do anything.
Right. I mean, if you're in the ICU or whatever. I mean, the thing is, the protective order is important.
It is absolutely important.
There are some
people that
it's important
for documentation, so that there's a paper trail. You've got to do the protective order. It's really important.
And some law enforcement agencies, some communities, some organizations are a little bit more advanced, but for the most part.
Yeah, but the person who is attacking you doesn't care about the fucking protective order.
No, they don't.
I'm sorry to keep cussing, but
I honestly, I don't care about that.
Yeah, because they don't care about that protective order. They just don't.
Whether it's
that's just the truth.
Protective order.
That's just the truth. This is database. I'm not making this up.
So in the community where I raised my children, most of my children went to school, and from ages around 3rd grade to high school. The police in that community kept a file about me and my ex-husband. It didn't help me at all on my daily life. It did not help me. But if I ended up in the ICU or missing or dead,
they knew who to go look for.
Exactly. They didn't have enough evidence to do anything else with it, but they kept a file, and so every report, every single call, every report of vandalism or anything else went into that file, and it built a case so that if I ever was missing, if I ever did end up in a situation in the hospital, or they found a body, they would know what to do with it. That's an extreme circumstance, but not an unusual circumstance.
Exactly.
And so,
not at all.
Regardless of where you are on the spectrum, you still want to make sure to call the authorities. I hear people all the time criticize Child Protective Services, and they criticize.
I criticize them.
And they criticize the police, but the humans in those agencies are working within the constraints that they're allowed to work with. It's our job. It literally is our job to raise awareness, change the laws, because they have the boundaries that we've allowed to exist, that we're not fighting about, that we're not voting against. They have to work within the constraints that we've allowed to exist. So it's really not fair to get mad at CPS for not doing something different when they don't have the legal authority.
It's not CPS that I criticize, it's the process.
Right.
So CPS does not get a lot of funding. They don't get a lot of money. So they have
very little funding.
Yeah, and then they have all of these regulations that they have to follow, and then the goal is always to put the ultimate goal is to put the child back with the parent, regardless of how the parent acts or treats the child. That's the ultimate goal. And plus, well, there's a couple of reasons why that's the goal, though. There's not a lot of other places to put the child.
No, not ones that would be safer or better. No. Absolutely not. Yeah. And you have to keep in mind, in less than 5% of the cases, CPS, takes children away, period. Most of the time, the efforts are around attaching resources or aligning resources to the parents to improve financial circumstances, to improve mental health circumstances, or even living circumstances, so it's a healthier place for the child to exist to begin with. Because no matter what we think, all this lip service we pay about how important children are, we don't have these utopias out there for them to live.
Yeah, those words are said,
but they are meaningless.
In the United States, and especially in Texas, because Texas is one of the worst. Texas, as far as legislation is concerned, does not care about children. Does not care about children.
Based on funding, based on voting, based on what we do as a society, individually you can say that children are really important to you.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, no matter what words you utter about things that are important to you, if you don't stand up for them, if you don't actively fight for them, if you don't demonstrate any of that, I don't really give a fuck if that's what you say, because they don't matter. You could say, this is my religion and this is my faith and these are all the things that I care about. But if you're not doing anything about it, whatever. That's just a great thing that you're saying. It's no more true than if you said that you were 20 years younger than you really are. It's no more true. So really what we have to do as humans is do better. If we think children matter, if our children matter, if all children matter, then we need to do better. We need to vote for and support and advocate for better laws, better funding,
and better support,
resources.
Though. Yeah, exactly. Better support, because most people, there are some humans who are so mean and who are so crazy for whatever reason, literally don't care about their children. But honestly, that actually is rare. That's actually a rare circumstance.
They are not the most common. That's true.
Not whatsoever. So most people who are in a situation where there is child abuse or child neglect happening, which, let's be honest, for every traumatic thing that is happening in America, what is most prevalent and what is most critical and what we must address is child abuse and child neglect. Every single traumatic action, every 100% of the people who are in prison, 100% the serial killers, rapists, child molesters, 100% of them had extreme traumatic, complicated PTSD from childhood trauma. 100%.
Right.
And that's just not being addressed. It's not being talked about.
If we really wanted to change the world,
that's where it is.
Honestly, this is the way I recruited Elaine to one of my volunteer groups originally. The idea that we're going to ever change the world, if you ever think that you have the ability to make the world a better place, impacting children.
That's
having healthier children.
It's what 100%.
Absolutely. You want to make a better planet out there, then help us engage with and provide resources for a little bit of interaction when children are abused and they're hurting and they're starving and they're neglected. Any of those things a few weeks of interaction and support during those years versus when they're 30 or 40 and they're already in DOJ and they're already in behavioral health, or they're under a bridge, or they're unfortunately violent and angry, any of these dependent on drugs. If we could get them when they were young, if we had resources to intercede when they were young, when the trauma is fresh, and we could get them back on a good track, we could literally change the world. We could create a better planet for all of us, because the people that make the decisions, the people that we eventually elect as politicians or heads of corporate organizations or other nations, all of them were abused kids too. Honestly, most of them were. And they're not happy. They're not healthy. These are people that are not doing well. And they're making decisions based on that trauma. No matter how much health care they've had, we all filter the world through our experience. We do. We filter the world through what we have gone through. And we make decisions based on that. Even when we're trying to be altruistic, even when we're trying to be unbiased, we're not capable of filtering out all of that experience. Most people don't even try. Most people aren't even self-aware enough to make the attempt. I guarantee you, Mr. Donald fucking Trump, crazy abused kid, turned out to be a horrible human.
He was extremely abused.
And we all suffered for it.
Yeah.
There was no self-awareness. There was no therapy or
he was abused, and he abused all of his children.
And he became an abuser. Right,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that is the path for a lot of the abusers. Not all.
Not all, that's correct.
There are abused kids that grow up to be activists. There are abused kids that grow up to be, social workers and world changers. But wouldn't it be
at the same
amazing?
time, though, and not because they are not, and I do agree that there are different levels, because at the same time, even those abused kids who grew up to be activists and grew up to be amazing people, their children are still affected by the world, right? And affected by them. You know what I'm saying?
And the toxic thing that you carry inside you.
It's still going to affect them. So there's still going to probably be some trauma that they're affected by. More than likely, the likelihood of them getting help at an earlier age, being their parents being saying, "I'm not perfect. Let me know." Being open to apologizing rather than saying, "Oh,
having a healthy perspective,
or
gaining a healthy perspective,
or blaming."
It's very unlikely.
That's the difference, I think.
And
right?
And it's not just how we interact with other humans. Choosing to be a healthy person and trying to be a healthy person. This is hard work.
Exactly, as I'm saying. So
hard work.
So even the ones who really are working, it doesn't mean that their children aren't going to experience trauma. That's not. But it's different. It's just different. It's different if your parent is saying, okay, if your child comes to you and say, this happened to me.
Yeah, but that's unlikely.
And you
unless
say,
you're fostering
and you say, well, I agree it's rare, but I do know situations. If your child is coming to you and says, this happened to me and this was traumatic, and then as a parent you say, man, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Let's talk about it.
And we don't.
What do you need?
Yeah.
What do you need me to do to work through this? Are you in therapy? Do you need me to go to your therapist with you? What do we need to do? Not that it's like easy or hard. You do that with your kids all the time.
I do. I
you
do
offer
now.
That with your kids.
I do that with all of my children.
Yeah.
But I want to say that there's a couple of things I'd share with that. First of all, if you're watching us and you have any thoughts on this topic or any other topic, post it in the chat for us so we can respond to it, because I really want to hear what you have to say. Any question, any thought, any comment, please post it. But the other thing is, a lot of parents think that they need to protect their kids. They need to protect them from these topics. They need to protect them by not talking about them,
Right.
by acknowledging them. And what we're really doing is we're setting our children up to be victims. We're setting them up to be vulnerable because we're not explaining to them all of these dangers, and we're not demonstrating them the courage to be honest about our own situations or anybody else's situations. That if someone was abused, if someone was attacked, if someone was raped, if they were sexually molested, if they were hurt in any way, that this wasn't their fault.
Right.
And by not talking about it, we give all of the power to the predators. We enable these predators, we empower these predators to have influence over our children and everybody else's children. We give them this ability to dictate the narrative and determine what that story looks like, so they can convince our children that this is your fault. You should be ashamed. Something's wrong with you.
Yeah, you shouldn't talk about it.
And if you tell anyone, they're going to blame you.
Yeah.
We're going to hurt other people.
It's shameful.
We give them the power to define that entire story. Instead, no matter how awkward it feels, and no matter how uncomfortable you feel.
I'm glad you said that, because no one's saying it's not going to be uncomfortable.
No, it's going to feel bad.
One's saying, exactly. No one's saying it's not going to feel horrible. No one's saying it's not going to be hard.
But if you've ever been a victim of molestation, of rape, of child abuse, of sexual abuse, or had someone close to you that was, of someone just traumatizing you in a similar way, frankly, you should be talking to your kids about it. Because if you're not, you're leaving the door open for someone else to set that story. That's what you're doing. You're leaving this giant door open for them to determine with your kid how they feel about it and where the blame resides and where the shame resides. But if you talk to them honestly about your own experience, about your friend's experience, your sister's experience, your brother's experience, your neighbor's experience, whatever it is, if you talk to them honestly about it, then you're setting the story. You're telling them these people weren't at fault. Yeah. Bad things happened. They were innocent. They were children. And we really could have helped them more if we'd known what was happening. You have to get over your own fear, your own shame, your own shit. If you haven't had any therapy, get some. If you haven't done that, do the work, because we're not doing our kids any service by not talking about this. We're actually failing them by not talking about it. We're setting them up to be victims in the future. That's what we're doing. When we fail to talk about all of these things, the idea that you have protected them from whatever terrible thing has happened to you, that's just a falsehood. That's an illusion.
And again, it's not easy. It's not comfortable. It sucks. It feels awful.
It does. It feels very bad.
But
I have felt it. It feels very, very bad.
Yeah.
But the reality is, it feels less bad than knowing that you have failed to give them the truth. Sorry, that was my water bottle. Nice.
I thought that was Poppins.
No, I just saw them. They jumped on the toilet seat. We have these cats.
Poppins and Tyresha.
Crazy. Yes.
They are so wild.
Wait, say the names again, because people need to understand the names of our cats. Poppins is the boy cat.
And Tyresha.
And Tyresha is the mommy of Poppins. Mm-hmm. And yes, Tyresha is a black girl cat. In case anybody wasn't sure about the name, she is.
And they're very wild. They play with each other a lot, which is awesome.
They're bizarre.
They get along.
But I literally just saw them. Those little paw prints on our toilet seat, I just saw them jump on it. I don't know why they do that, but they get on the edge of the toilet seat for some reason. That's crazy that they do that.
But they're very cute.
They are very cute. They run away every time they make a mess. Like, we're not going to know that it was them that made the mess.
And Poppin snuggles a lot.
Poppin snuggles. Tyresha does not.
Tyresha's not a snuggler.
Tyresha does not want to have anything to do with it.
Poppin likes to cuddle.
So I see that Judith is out there. Whoever else is out there, it says that there are 3 people out there. Would you please, please, please just say hello to us and tell us you're out there. And if you have a question, if you have an idea or comment on anything we're talking about, let us know.
I wish Jasmine is Jasmine out there. I really wish she was.
Oh, message her, please.
Let me message her. I know she said she got up early this morning and she was going to try to join.
We're on now, so come on, join now.
Let me see if she's on.
Although, I don't want to be all judgmental if it's late and shit.
Yeah, I know she's got a lot of stuff going on with schooling and becoming a nurse,
which is exciting.
But because I really wanted to talk about transgender.
Oh yeah. And there's so many things I want to talk about.
Yeah. And I know that Jasmine, because Plano East is very open, which is awesome, about transgender students, because people know how they feel about gender, about sexuality. All that comes to play fairly early in life, but they also know whether the discussion, the topic is something that's acceptable to their family or the people around them. Now, fortunately, in the community where my niece and nephews grew up, the kids were felt very open to be honest. Most of them, I don't know about all. You never know about all. I'm sure there's some situations where there's some crazy stuff going on, but for as far as the schooling and what was taught at the school and the principals and what was expected, people were very open to be who they were. And now, when it comes to transgender, I really, 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 I don't know why I'm so focused on this at this point. I've been really researching it a lot, watching documentaries, because I just believe that I don't know. I don't know what I believe. I question, I guess, why. So we have a label called girl and we have a label called boy, but that is not, those labels
Are not the beginning and
are
ending of
not
videos.
labels that were created by God. Those are labels that were created by man, right?
Right, absolutely.
So
And if you're not a religious person, think about it in these terms. Those are not labels that are medically science labeled.
no,
Those are, your genitalia, your physiology do not determine your human aspects. They don't determine
No.
your personality. Those two things are not necessarily tied. I do know, and for all the people that are freaking out that watch these later, yes, we have scientific data that show male brains and female brains have differences.
yes,
But those male brains and female brains are not directly tied to penises
to a penis
and
or vagina. That's
They're
my point.
not.
That is my point.
And that's the important piece that we need to keep in mind.
That's what I'm saying.
Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not.
That's what I'm saying. We do know that a person who, at the age of 6-year-old, is saying, "I identify as a
boy
girl,"
or
I identify as a girl, but I have a penis, or I identify as a boy, but I have a vagina. When there is a neurological study on that person,
What?
their brain actually does match
It bears it out. It
the
bears it out.
connectors, and yes,
It bears out what they're
and
actually saying.
neurologically, they actually do. Yeah.
They actually
Yes.
do have
Yes.
the brain of
Now,
a boy or a girl.
Does that mean? This is my question, and I still know the answer to this. Does the identification of a boy have to mean a penis?
I
Does-
don't know. That's a good question.
Does the
Because
identification of
masculinity, I mean, I know women, and this is where we really need to challenge all of those social norms. The identity, the idea of strong and masculine and weak and feminine. Honestly, that's some bullshit.
exactly? That's
Some
my
of the
point.
strongest people I know, and I will say without any
Yeah.
humility at all, I'm strong. I am very strong. I'm stronger than most of the humans I know. Penises or vaginas or not, I am. And so the thing that the idea that these masculine and strong and feminine and whatever are tied to our genitalia, I don't know that that's a true statement. I think that we should challenge
I mean,
those definitions.
if you like to dance, if you prefer cheerleading over basketball,
Why
does that mean
to
you
be
have to have a
gender?
vagina?
No. Why does that have to have anything to do with gender?
That exactly.
Yeah, my youngest daughter loves baseball. Absolutely.
You know
loves
what?
it.
That's interesting because you have 4 children,
They're
and
so-
I know I've told
so
you this so many
crazy.
times. I honestly believe Noah would have wanted to be on the drill team.
Yes, he would have.
Michelle would have wanted to do sports.
Yes, he would. Yes, that's 100% true.
I 100%
Michelle's
believe
very,
that.
very masculine. She's an MLB correspondent.
Yeah.
She is all about baseball. Andrea has the likings of the most girly girl I know. She loves pink things. She loves frilly things. She loves order. She loves those things. I apologize for saying all my kids' names out there, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
My oldest son loved dancing. Oh my God, I have so many videos of him dancing. And
I think
had it been socially acceptable, he was really, really good at football, but he would have been better at drill team. He would have been. He
was an excellent quarterback, and quarterbacks have to be good dancers.
Yes, they have to be very agile,
That's
very
correct.
nimble. I saw someone else join us. Oh, and we've got a like. That's awesome. Yeah. But could you guys say hello to us and say something about your thoughts and your questions and your comments? Yeah. If there's something that we can touch on, the last year, honestly, has been, it's been the worst year of my life.
Yeah.
Oh, Charlie! Charlie, I love you so much, and I'm so sorry I haven't talked to you in so long.
I don't know Charlie.
You do. You've met him. It's been a long time since you met him. But Charlie has been. I'll show you a picture of Charlie. You met him at my place when we lived in the duplex in North Richland Hills. He worked with Noah.
Wow.
And he was a wonderful, wonderful, sweet guy. I'm going to show you a picture of Charlie.
Can you Noah?
He did. Charlie, I do miss you. And I hope, Charlie, I get to see you soon. I have missed talking to you so much. Mm. This is Charlie.
Oh, okay.
Let me show you Charlie. Charlie's one of those people that you want to know. Well, you see view profile. That's Charlie. He has that's Charlie.
Oh, okay. Hi,
so Charlie, we would love to talk to you more. I seriously miss, and anytime you want, I'm up for a tarot reading, dude. I will do that anytime you want.
Do you know that Jasmine does tarot readings?
I love that. Yeah. I love that. Mm. You know? I love you, Charlie. I miss you. And
Charlie, do you live in North Richland Hills?
Still? Do you live in North Richland Hills? I think you do. We live in Deep Ellum. This is where we are.
Yeah.
So I'm going to send you an invite to something coming up, Charlie, and I would very much hope that you go with us to do it. The point of all of that conversation is really about we need to not be so tied to these rules and definitions that really predate all of us and aren't necessarily applicable anymore.
Well, I feel like we need to, I definitely feel like we need to expand our thinking and not think that I'm not transgender, and I very, very much want to speak to people who are transgender so I can have a better understanding. But my question is, so if you're born with a penis and as you are developing in life, you realize, I don't want a basketball. I want to play with dolls. I don't want to wear pants. I want to wear a dress. I still right now, and I know this is my ignorance, and that's why I want to understand this more from people who are transgender. I don't know why. I think maybe it's just societal.
Does that mean you need to change your physiology?
That's my thing. So
is it about changing your physiology to mean
why can't a person who is born with a penis play with dolls and wear dresses?
unless the question is deeper than that. I think it's not just what your preferences are and what you identify as, but do you truly identify as a female? And
What
to
does
be
that
fair,
mean, though?
to
What
be
does it
fair-
mean to identify as a female?
But-
That's my question.
Well, that's the thing. I think it depends.
I don't
on,
understand that.
on do you identify with, you feel more female because you have a breast and you have a vagina and you can experience sex in that way, or
Okay.
does it mean that you have preferences that society has traditionally assigned as female, but they could be anyone? Those are very different topics. Some of them might manifest in you seeking gender reassignment. Some of them might just manifest in you behaving in what society would consider a more female way. And I think either is okay. I just would love to understand the difference.
No, either is definitely okay, and you're exactly, that's what I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand.
And I don't know what the difference is.
Yeah.
Look at there. Let's plan something. I love you, Charlie. Let's plan something soon.
Please, yeah, I would love.
I would love to reconnect and get
Charlie, are you
together.
transgender? Are you transgender, Charlie?
You know, Charlie, I've never asked that. Really, because
If you don't want to answer, that's fine.
I've always
That's
just
fine.
assumed that you are Charlie. And I love you how you
It
are.
doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, whatever. I mean, I'm not trying to put anybody on the spot. I was wondering.
I know that you're not a straight male. I don't know what that necessarily means otherwise, beyond that.
Because you and I don't know each other well, Charlie. Lisa knows me, and I'm not. I'm very, very.
Non-judgmental.
I'm not judgmental at all. But at the same time, I know that I come across as inappropriate. I don't know if I'm autistic or.
Oh, that's not fair. You
I
know
don't know
what?
what it
People have
is.
this idea of it appropriate, inappropriate, but you know where those lines are
Because
drawn?
I just ask questions that maybe some people are uncomfortable with.
The lines are drawn around.
But I'm not trying
about
to be
truth or
mean.
not
I'm
truth.
really not.
You know,
Yeah.
we have these weird things that we define as polite and okay, and usually it's around making up some kind of social lie or social thing. And Elaine's just really honest, and that's not appropriate or inappropriate. It's just honest. People that usually are offended or threatened take it personally, and really, I always want to recommend to those people, get a little therapy. Honestly, get a little self-awareness. Own some of your own shit for a minute.
The transgender
It
community.
ain't all about you.
The transgender community is an area that I am working to understand, and it has nothing to do with understanding for acceptance, because I accept everyone. It has nothing to do with that. It's just like I'm a very cerebral person, so I just want to know. I'm just confused by. I don't understand if it's really that this human who is born with a penis. I don't know what that means to say I want to be a woman.
Well, and that's why we really
just
want
don't-
to hear
I don't
from
get
someone.
exactly. I want to
You know?
understand. I want to hear from someone who
Hear-
is transgender, because I don't know what that
Someone
means.
that feels compelled
Yeah.
enough, not just because of who they sexually are attracted to, but who they physically identify as. What does that mean? You know,
Because I
let that be
know,
helpful.
like I know a lot of women who never want to wear dresses, never want to wear. Yeah.
Honestly, that'd be me most of the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time, that's me. Sorry, I dropped my water bottle. But most of the time, I don't want to wear dresses. And not that I don't like.
But they are not
Feminine
interested in
type.
having a penis,
Yeah.
though. It's never even a thought of their mind.
But I do
right?
like a lot of things that are very typically male. I do.
But that's been defined by society that's typically male, right? That's my point.
Yeah, that is society's determination of what is male versus female.
Yeah.
And so, you know what? Normally we only take these like 45 minutes or an hour, but we're just going to talk until we don't want to talk anymore tonight. That's what we're going to do. And anybody that wants to join us and chat with us. I'm going to take a step away because I'm going to get some more alcohol.
Okay.
You see my little glass here? It's empty. This glass cannot be empty. I need some more alcohol in this glass. But we're going to keep talking. Y'all just, what is that? My favorite Saturday Night Skit. Talk amongst yourselves. There you go. That's my 7-minute live skit. I love that.
I think a couple of people dropped.
Well, one person dropped, one person joined, one person dropped. So just keep talking because whoever dropped, I don't think it's the same people.
Oh, I see.
And ask people to chat.
Please ask us questions, comment, let us know if what we're saying is ridiculous.
Or, criticize us. Hell,
That's what I'm saying. Let us know if what we're saying is ridiculous,
Yeah, we can
wrong,
we're not sensitive.
asinine. We're definitely
That's right.
Yeah.
Correct our ignorance if you feel compelled.
Yeah.
Because we are not sensitive.
Oh, another person joined. Who just joined?
Please say hi.
Please say hi when you join if you don't mind. That would be awesome.
We really
Oh my God, Lisa! It's Dwayne Murphy Jr. in the house. Dwayne Murphy Jr. is in the house.
Did you message us?
He's on right now. He just hopped in. Hi, Dwayne.
Okay, so Dwayne.
Oh my goodness! See,
I was getting
Dwayne Murphy Jr. is in the house. I love you too, Dwayne.
So Dwayne,
We were talking about you today, by the way.
we were talking a lot about you today, and I was pausing and taking a little beverage break. So I know that you can appreciate that. But I was also holding off on some conversations about some of this crazy past year until you could be there. Oh my gosh! What did it do, Auntie?
Who's
Look at that.
I don't know who that is.
So it's clearly one of your
Oh, that's Blaney. Hi, Blaney. Oh, my little Blaney. Hi,
but
Blaney.
Dwayne,
Hi,
I'd
sweet
love
Blaney.
to hear from you about
We were just talking about Poppins, Blaine, by the way. I love him. I love him so much.
Poppins is insane. Just insane.
But I love him.
I could see why he's in our house and not yours. I'm just gonna say that right now. And I think that you really kind of owe us a little bit. But I love him. So
He's so affectionate though.
he is very affectionate. Dwayne, we would very much love to hear from you about, I think this last year has been, to say, honestly, it sounds ridiculous just to say that it's been hard. It's been hard. I mean, lots of growth challenges, lots of opportunities to become better humans, but also just be mowed down, be harmed and trampled by life. So anything you would like to share along those lines, we would like to hear from you. And Blaine, share anything you want to share. I appreciate that you joined and are chatting with us tonight. Honestly, we're just hanging out in our loft, and we decided that for the first time in over a year, we'd like to talk to everybody. I will tell you, we have not held off on having really good and interesting conversation with each other.
No.
There have been so many nights I thought, dude, we should have made this a YouTube video. We should have talked about this with everyone, because these are the same things that everyone is struggling with.
There's this podcast that I've been listening to, who I want to get Lisa on. I'm working on getting Lisa on. It's called Pod Bless Texas. And one of the things that, his name is Kendall, one of the things that he asked at the end of his podcast, he asked, what are you obsessed with? Which I think is a cool question. What are you currently, like this week, what are you obsessed with? So right now, I am, first of all, I'm obsessed with a lot of things because I consider myself to be someone who is mentally imbalanced. It's just like a self diagnosis. I think I am. So I'm obsessed with a lot of things. But so I am obsessed with our criminal law system in Dallas and how unjust it is in so many ways. The area that I am most obsessed with right now is our bail process. Page 110, our bail process, which is completely unjust.
Oh my goodness, we have to read his thing.
Dwayne, let me see what Dwayne said. Dwayne, last year really oh yeah, I know Dwayne. That's what we were talking about, by the way. We were talking about you today, about specifically that. Yeah.
We were talking about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we really wanted to acknowledge
Kamala telling immigrants not to come. I don't know. So and then Blaine.
Let's take him.
Let's take another time. Let's take one. So Dwayne first.
Actually, do Blaine first, and then let's come back to Dwayne because I think Dwayne's going to take a little longer.
Okay, that's fine. So Blaine, I know that Kamala went to the border today, but I did not follow it. I didn't read about what happened today. I haven't followed what happened toay.
And I didn't get the impression.
So Kamala told immigrants not to come. Is that what happened? I'm not Blaine. Come on. I feel like you're bringing this up on purpose because she wasn't I wasn't a fan.
But I did not hear her. I think that might be taking things a little out of context. To be fair.
Okay.
Because the sound bites that I heard, and it sucks.
I haven't heard any. I don't know anything about this.
And it sucks when you're judging.
I know nothing about
by sound bites because things are easily taken out of context. And I want to just encourage everyone, no matter who the politician or celebrity, whoever it is, would you want your words taken out of context? And if you don't, just go look up what the entire statement was, because the interviews that I saw with Kamala was not encouraging immigrants not to come here. They were completely different than that. There were definitely cautionary tales about how they come and coming illegally and certain protocols, but I did not hear anything suggesting that we didn't want immigrants to come at all, that we didn't want people to come here. That was not the message I was getting. But to be fair, I will say openly, I didn't watch the whole story.
Neither did I.
I did not catch, and I have not had a chance to research the whole story.
I'll tell you what, Blaine, I'm going to research it, and then I will get back to you. Because I really don't know.
If you've got more insight,
as you know,
share it.
Please do. As you know, she has a history that I'm not.
And especially her role as a DA, that was interesting.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
Yes, she had definitely had some policies I wasn't in favor of. Yeah. And so she did say there was a statement here.
Guatemalan migrants do not come to the U.S.
You'll be coming back.
Let me see.
So we're looking at this video now, by the way, where her statement was, "Do not come here," for Guatemala.
Oh my God. I feel like I want to have a conversation with her.
I think
I wish I could speak to her in person, but I know that I'm not going to say I know that's not possible. I think maybe it is possible.
It could be possible. Like you're very influential.
I feel like there's more to the story. I just feel like there's more to the story. And I think
that there was a concern about the dangers of the journey, the jeopardy that humans would be in coming in the current conditions.
Maybe, yeah. Okay,
but I'd like to look into it.
Me too.
Blaine, I'm going to look into it. I'm telling you that.
Me too.
And we're going to have. We are not going to wait a year to get back with you on this. I promise you guys. Oh, hold on.
I'm sorry.
That wasn't actually an earthquake. That
was me. Apologize.
Elaine's going to scoot back into her chair, and we're not going to shake the world the same way. But what we'll do is we're going to talk to you again. How about in just a few days? We'll talk to you sometime in the next.
Yeah, I want to do a little research.
And we'll send it out to everyone when we're going to do it again. While you read Blaine's message, I'm going to comment on Dwayne's message.
Aw, I love you, Blaine.
Of course, we love you, Blaine. I think the biggest lesson I
You're
took from
so
this-
sweet, Blaine, and that's why you're my nephew. Because you're so. I do agree. I do agree that you and I are on the same page always. So what your statement is, I agree with you. But again, so we'll look into it.
I wanted to. Oh yes.
Yeah.
You know what, Dwayne, you're so smart. I'm not Dwayne. Sorry, Blaine. You're so smart.
Blaine's very smart.
And yes, the president currently that we have is very progressive.
Yeah.
But I think we have lots of opportunity, and we cannot for a second take a back seat
Or pretend that
relax.
we've arrived.
Yeah, we cannot relax.
That's
This
incorrect. We have
No.
not arrived.
No, we have not. We have to keep fighting and
Yes.
stay diligent.
Yes.
And don't let any of these little things, I think we get so complacent and we let
Yes.
the little things go by.
That is correct.
The little things aren't little things. They're not.
That's right.
All these things that happen,
I thought that was
that was me.
popping.
It was me.
Okay.
It's all right. Our cats are very active. So
But no, you're right. We can't be complacent. We can't pretend that things are good now.
right.
No.
That they're not these
No.
moments that come up
We have
and
to constantly be
every law.
I feel like we can never forget.
I'm just checking because the cats are really active.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sure they're
I feel like
They'll even bite
I
me a
feel
little
like I don't feel like we should never forget the United States of America. It's not the majority, but it's still a lot of people support Trump
yeah.
to this day.
Yeah. There's still a lot of people
We
out there
can't
for that.
pretend that that's not true.
Right. So that's the point. Every one of these
Yeah.
things that come up, we have to pay very careful attention to the language, to the tone, to the intent, and don't
It was
let any
close
of them.
by. It wasn't. I mean, there's still
It
like
was
a lot of
very,
people.
very close. It was very
A lot
close.
of people.
A lot of people still voted for Trump.
And frankly, a lot of people in our
That-
state, let's not even.
The state of Texas. That is a real
Yeah.
statement.
Yeah.
And I think it's an important thing for all of us to recognize. The idea that we've made this tremendous progress, that's an illusion.
Completely. That's my point.
It's an illusion.
The idea that when people say, "Oh, well, we got Trump out of office and now we can relax," are you an ass?
Right. I want to tell
What
you
the
all,
hell is wrong with you?
the world you want
We cannot
tomorrow-
relax.
Right. No, the world that you want tomorrow requires your active participation in creating.
Yeah.
You have to own it. If you want a better world tomorrow, or even fucking today, a little bit better today, but definitely better tomorrow for you, for your children, for anybody out there, it requires your active participation.
You have to actively participate. Pay attention.
Everything.
Follow what's happening. Pay it. Yeah.
I'm gonna address Dwayne's comment.
Yeah, I know. I
And then
definitely
I
don't want to forget Dwayne's comment.
And then I want to tell you some examples today, work examples of literally my job today and my job yesterday, of what I'm talking about, of being diligent in representing the human you are now and the world you want to have engaged with. But Dwayne, you said last year,
Don't let yesterday define tomorrow.
yeah, last year really rocked me in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
I think the biggest lesson I learned from it is that you have to keep giving every day a shot, and don't let yesterday define tomorrow. Dwayne, I would love to hear a little bit more about what you mean
Yeah,
by don't let yesterday define tomorrow.
I don't know what that means.
I will tell you,
I would love to
Knowing-
talk to you. We can't talk on this, can we?
no,
Now I want to call
but
Dwayne.
please chat with us, because
What's your phone number, Dwayne? Can you text it to me?
I got his phone number.
Okay.
I got his phone number.
Because now I want to talk.
I'll text
No.
Dwayne,
Now I want to talk to him.
because I will tell you
Because that's a
something.
deep conversation that I want to have.
Because I will say that here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna text Dwayne and say, "Hey, tell us more."
Yeah.
But here, I know a little bit about what Dwayne might be talking about from last year, and so I'm gonna talk about that while we text him. Hey, tell us more. I will say this, Dwayne. Dwayne's about to be a dad
Yay.
in a few months.
I know.
Congratulations, Dwayne.
Yay.
He's engaged. He just made a big move. I am so excited. And you know what? We're going to post a link to Dwayne's thing because he does this live cast pod. It's amazing. He's funny. He's smart. He's amazing.
You know what, Dwayne? I know you've been doing the comedian thing for a while now. You're very funny.
You're very funny. Obviously, you don't need us to tell you that. This is a tiny
you're a
little
funny
thing.
person.
You have huge viewership. We're small.
I think you should continue with that. You're very funny.
Our little podcast is getting a little bit of attention, but yours is like huge. Huge.
You're funny. You're a funny guy. So please.
But back to what you said last year. So, I don't know who's out there right now listening to us, but I lost my son last year, and he was with Dwayne when it happened, and I feel like that some of what Dwayne's saying is related to that. My son Noah was with Dwayne at his house when he experienced a cardiac event. Not that I think that everyone knew that's what was happening when it happened. If someone collapses in your house, you don't always know what's causing that. But it was heart failure. And Dwayne, we'd only met virtually a few days before it happened. My son had shared this information. He was going to stay with his friend, this really close friend that he loved, and he talked to me constantly about. He was going to stay with him for a few days because it would alleviate my stress and my worry about how he was doing. Mm-hmm. And Dwayne had messaged me, and we talked briefly in those few days before my son's death. That he was gonna look out for Noah. He was gonna let me know everything was okay, and everything was gonna be okay. He was gonna take care of it. And for most of you in your 20s, that statement would be easy to make. That statement would be true and honest and easy to make, and it would never be refuted. But in this case, Noah was 26, not someone that should experience heart failure. And we did. He was at Dwayne's house with his roommates, and he collapsed in Dwayne's kitchen. And their friends, he and Charlie and I think Clint, got to him immediately, and they started administering CPR, and they were trying to take care of him. And there was nothing that they could have done. They did all that they could do. The comfort I take is that Noah was with someone that loved him. He really loved Dwayne. He loved him as a friend. And I know the feeling was mutual. So in those moments, in those couple of days and hours leading up to that event, Noah's around someone that loved him, really loved him.
Which is, yeah.
And there was nothing else he could do that would have prevented him from leaving us.
Absolutely. There's nothing.
So I think his statements are about that. Let me see what Dwayne's saying. A lot of us struggled during the pandemic. People experienced real loss, like you said, loss of jobs, loss of friends, loss of family. It was easy to feel hopeless. I personally turned to alcohol. Dwayne, you weren't the only one. A lot of us did.
A lot.
I will say that I don't think this is an issue at the moment, but I do appreciate a drink. I am drinking.
Alcohol sales definitely went up during the pandemic. There's no question about that.
CBD, marijuana, all those things went up during the pandemic.
Especially, I mean, there are parents who have like, I don't know if you've seen, I actually went up through them and I was talking to Fern and Judith about them. There are a lot of, I'm not going to say parent, let's not pretend. There are a lot of moms who posted all these TikTok videos of like, I'm a day drinker now because now they're taking care of their kids, they're working, they're doing so they start drinking.
Oh yeah, there's crazy things. There's a lot of self-medication.
They became day drinkers. They're like, okay.
People that were not previously engaged in self-medication were engaging them. And so if you
that's
did
a real
turn
thing,
that,
absolutely.
But I think the amazing thing is if you're aware that you were doing this as a self-medication and you're already trying to correct course, you're probably not one of those people that needs serious intervention. I'm not going to suggest if you're already in therapy and you're getting therapy, great, good for you. That's always healthy. There's nothing about our mental journey that doesn't need help. Honestly, this is a long, hard road, just living this life as a human. And if you've needed help and if you thought you didn't need help, you probably did. Just going to tell you, I've never met a human on the planet that didn't need some help. But if you're making it right now with whatever therapy or program you're doing, good for you. If the pandemic or loss of some family because of that, or loss of job because of that,
there are a lot of people, and you and I don't really associate with this because we like being by ourselves. But there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people who struggled with the isolation.
With the isolation, yes, I heard that.
Yeah, me too, a lot. So, and I get that because people are different. I actually thought it was awesome, but a lot of people,
I mean, I love all of you guys. I do, but mostly I don't like being around other humans. This human I'm good with, but most humans not so much. I'm not so happy about being around them.
Oh, see, Dwayne, I just want
here,
people to know
actually love here.
There's someone like me who really felt like I had no direction to just keep hope alive. Find new ways to fulfill yourselves. Dwayne, I really want to talk to you, Dwayne.
Dwayne,
can we go visit you? Let's go to California. Where do you live?
Yeah.
What's your address?
He sent me his address already.
We're gonna go visit you.
Well, I think he sent me your address. I've got his registration anyway. Honestly, and I've got friends in that area. We need to do that.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. I want to go visit you now, Dwayne.
But
I want to go see you.
I want to say, anybody that hasn't been on Dwayne's podcast, look through our messages and go find him. He is an inspiration, period.
First of all,
he is amazing.
He's a funny person.
He's a very funny person. I don't know if all of you know that, but to be funny, you have to actually first be very, very smart. You do. Smart people. There are smart people that are not funny, but there are no funny people that aren't smart. I just want people to know that if someone like me who really felt like I had no direction, to just keep hope alive, find new ways to fulfill yourselves, keep living over trial and error. I'm just grateful for not losing the fight and seeing both of you shining so brightly through the podcast. Dwayne, we love you. You know what? I don't even know.
I want to go to California now, though.
I don't even know how to see this.
I've got time.
Noah, my son, brought Dwayne into my life. I will never recover. I feel bad because there's no pretty way to feel how I'm feeling, and so
please don't feel bad because there. Actually, earlier when I don't remember what the comment was about,
but losing Noah. I'll never recover from that.
Of course not. Of course not. You shouldn't apologize. That's final. I mean, there's no.
But I'm so grateful for knowing Dwayne.
Mm-hmm.
Dwayne, I'm grateful that you're in my life. I wish I would much have preferred that you were in my life right now with him. That would be my preference. I'm not a person that believes that everything happens for a fucking reason. So anybody that believes that, I apologize in advance if that offends you, but I don't believe it happens for a reason. I think it sucks that I had to lose my son. And I'm never going to get over it.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get over it. But
some things happen because people are assholes. And anyway, I don't want to get into that right now.
But I am grateful that even though I lost Noah, I am grateful that I still have his friends and the people that felt his joy, felt his love for life and his ridiculous attitude. I'm grateful people that shared that with him. I am so, so grateful. I love you, Dwayne. I really do. I love you.
What is the name of your podcast, Dwayne?
I love you, Dwayne. I know why Noah loved you, and of all the things that bring me comfort, and there aren't a lot of things. With losing him, there aren't a lot of things. I will tell all of you now, and I don't really care if it offends anybody. I don't think what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Fuck that noise. That's ridiculous. I don't think things happen for a reason. No. I don't think that Noah's in a better place. I don't think that God took angels home. So if any of you think that, don't talk to me. I lost my son, and I didn't want to lose my son.
Thank you.
But Dwayne, knowing that he was with my son, knowing that Noah was with someone that loved him so much, that Noah loved so much, that they were together in his last moments. That's one of the only things that brings me comfort. One of the few things that brings me comfort is this man, Dwayne, knowing who he is as a human and knowing he was with my son in his last moments. That brings me comfort. Mm-hmm. It does. It makes me feel a little bit better because I have grown to love him so much, and I've grown to see why my son loved him so much. He's just such a special human. He's smart and he's funny and he's socially conscious. I'm so grateful to have him in my life. Yeah. And so Dwayne's podcast is called That's How I Feel. That's such an appropriate name. I'm going to post it everywhere. I'm going to post it on this. I'm going to post it on Twitter. I'm going to post it everywhere. Because if you're not listening to him, you're missing out on something really smart and funny and wise. Something that's going to bring value to your life. So you should be listening to that. That's how I feel. That's what you should be listening to. I love you too, Dwayne. So, Blaine, what's the name? And Blaine was asking.
Yeah, that's why.
So, Blaine, the name of the podcast is That's How I Feel.
Yeah.
Everybody that's listening and anybody else, we're going to post it here in all of our social medias. Honestly, there's quite a few other people that follow Elaine in the political arena and on Twitter.
So the next time we have this, we just need to advertise it a little bit further in advance.
We just had a spur of the moment. I haven't been in an emotional state to have this podcast. My son passed away a year ago this May, and I know I'll never recover. But over the last year, I haven't been in the mental frame to have a conversation with other humans. Mm-hmm. But I love the idea of doing this, and I love the idea of connecting with all of you, particularly around the topics that we're all struggling with, and I think that we're in the right mental place. So tonight we were both out and like, let's just do it. Let's just start it up and let's do it. And so later this week, before the end of the week, we'll have a second one, and then sometime in the next 2 weeks, we'll keep it going. I'd love to post a schedule. I would, but we don't keep schedules very well. So
No.
I'm just going to ask
I would
you
love
all-
to see what people want us to talk about, though.
Yeah.
'cause-
No, if you've got ideas, comments, things you want us to talk about, people you want us to talk to, then post that out for us, and we'll definitely do it. Otherwise, we're going to do is we're going to try to give you a day or two advance notice
Yeah.
of when we're going to do it,
Exactly.
and because we're not good with schedules.
No.
You know, it's not
A day or
like,
two advance would be cool, though.
That'd be good. And honestly, that's ambitious. I'm just gonna be honest. That's ambitious.
Yeah.
This is not Good Morning America or anything. We're not good with schedules. But I think that you will not have more honest conversations. There's no topic that's awkward or difficult. Race,
No.
sexuality,
No.
gender, transgender,
Whatever.
real world sexual health for women, any of those things, sexism, whatever. We're open to talking about it.
Dallas politics.
National politics,
Yeah, national politics.
immigrant status, global politics, anything that you want to talk about, we'll talk about, and have some informed opinions about, opinions that aren't. The good thing about it is neither one of us are running for office.
No.
At least not today. We're
No,
not running for
now.
office. Yeah. And we don't really have any constituents that we're trying to please.
Well, I am an elected official.
That's true. Elaine is.
I'm a precinct chair, but
But
my precinct likes me, so I support them.
we primarily just try
I
to
represent my precinct.
represent the truth.
So, yeah.
That's the thing. Now, I know the truth can be a little subjective, so we want to hear your opinion about it. But if we say it, it's the truth that we believe to be true. And we'd like to hear when you have a different opinion. It's what we believe to be true based on the data we have today, all the information we have today, regardless of what particular demographic it applies to or political party it applies to. It is the truth we know today. So I'd very much like to hear from all of you guys.
Me too. I would love to hear from more people too, because I know people have a lot of different opinions and discussions, and I would love to see.
And we're going to start. I've been watching some of That's How I Feel. By the way, Dwayne's podcast.
I haven't, but I need to log into it because
I've watched a little bit of
Dwayne
it.
is funny.
He's amazing. And so what you're going to hear from us on our next several video podcasts is some feedback on Dwayne's podcast, because he talks about relevant issues as well.
Really,
And he
Dwayne?
adds
Can we
in-
be guests on your podcast?
Oh, that'd be great.
Can we do that?
But he talks about such relevant stuff.
Then I love that.
He does. He keeps it very
Are there
on
any
topic.
women?
He's had women before, and he's been interviewed by women before.
Okay.
I saw that one too, where
Okay.
he was a guest on someone else's podcast. That was pretty amazing.
Do you have any
Dwayne?
black women on your podcast?
It was a white woman. Dwayne, do you have any black women? I didn't see that one.
That's
I saw the
something-
one with the white woman.
That's not. That's fine, but I'll be on your podcast. I'm a black woman, and I'm gonna be on your podcast.
Or you could have both of us, and you could get
Well,
multiple.
I know that the
demographics.
world identifies you as white. I don't, but the
I know.
world does.
So everybody out there that knows.
Yeah.
So this looks like a black woman and a white woman, and I'm okay that the world sees us that way. But we both know I'm not really white.
Creole. We're both
Yeah,
Creoles.
We are both Creole.
Yeah.
We actually both come from the same part of Louisiana.
Yeah.
Very similar parts of Louisiana. But Dwayne, if you're still out there, tell us, can we be a guest on your
We want to be on your podcast.
We would love that. And can we have you on ours?
Yeah.
Can we have you on ours? We could just video
Let's
share
talk.
something. I mean, we'd love that.
I'll even fly out to California.
Hell, we'll come out there. We'll bring the alcohol.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's still a thing,
Well,
we'll be
listen.
respectful. We'll be respectful.
It was such
And I've got your baby registry. He sent me his baby registry. We'll
well,
bring-
there we go.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. If you're trying to wean off of alcohol, we're not going to bring any. We'll hide it in our.
Well, easy. We'll not bring it for you. We'll hide it.
But
We'll hide it from
let
you.
us know.
We'll hide it in our suitcase and we'll keep it in the hotel away from you.
Yeah.
Whatever works.
Mhm.
So please message us and let us know what's good there for you. But otherwise, you know what? This has been very
Yeah.
helpful and cathartic for me.
Me too.
I'm glad. I know I was struggling with the idea of coming back online after the last year. Literally, I looked up when our last one was.
Yeah.
Do you want to know when our last one was? And I'll pull it up and show you. Our last one,
I know it was before Noah passed.
it was just before.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was like, maybe a week before. It was not much before. If you look at us as opposed to, so if we go to our podcasts and our videos, the one before was 5:15.
Oh man. Wow.
5 days before.
Wow.
That was our last one. So this is the first one since May 15th, 2020. And so it was tough coming back online. My son passed away on May 20th, 2020. And so that was really hard. It was hard for all of us that loved him. And it's still really hard
I was
for me.
gonna say, yeah.
It's never going to be easy. But like it or not, life goes on, right? It does. And we'd very much like to continue to engage in the world. Hopefully add a perspective to the world, an honest perspective to the world that's reflective of our experience and maybe more people's experience. And talk about the things that a lot of people don't want to talk about,
Exactly.
but we're okay talking about. Whatever it is. Race, gender. White people don't like talking about race. We're okay with it. And we want to tell you, if you're a white person that actively wants to be better about race, then don't take it so personally. Listen to this message with a little bit of a different filter on how, hey, there are some people that don't handle this well. Maybe there's some parts of it that you don't handle well. But we can all get better. And you don't have to take it personally. It's not a criticism. So, gender and sexism. Everybody turn off the piece that's making it personal for you. And just listen to the message.
Right.
And listen to how we can make the world better. And then relative to loss and grief, I don't have any words of wisdom. I don't. I want to tell you that, you know what? I guess I do. My daughter said something that I thought was very wise. That grief is like the ocean. It's like these big waves. And sometimes you're overwhelmed by the wave. You're just drowning. You're just under the sea because you're just overwhelmed by it. And then other times you're riding the wave because you're able to manage it. But in either way, we're not in control of the process. We have to let it happen. There aren't any magic keys or magic sayings that make it better. Those of you that find comfort in faith, great. If you find comfort in other things, that's okay too. But overall, try to be kind to yourself. And it's okay to feel what you feel. You don't have to excuse it. And you definitely don't have to make other people comfortable with it.
Right.
You don't. If you feel bad, if you're feeling grief, or you're feeling like crying, or you're just feeling like it all sucks because you lost who you lost, you don't have to make other people feel happy because you feel that way. You don't. So that's a little bit of wisdom I have about grief. I don't know that it's great wisdom, but that's what I have. So I think we're right at an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And unless anyone on our chat, anyone that's out there listening to us, has anything else they want to share with us, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. It's 1:34 right now. You got 5 minutes. Share anything, ask anything, say anything you want, and we'll respond to it.
But we are going out to see you, Dwayne, in California.
No, we are.
That's happening.
We're sending something to your baby registry, and we're coming to see you. I didn't originally ask your address so that we could show up unexpectedly, but you loved Noah, so you have to know that we're kind of crazy. I mean, you loved Noah, right? You loved him. So if you loved him, you had to know that I would be a little bit fucking psycho. A little bit. Just a little bit, right? And so you might have Noah's mom as a stalker for like the whole rest of your life. It could be. Not to scare you. I mean, in a good way. This is a good thing. So hopefully you think it's a good thing. I told him he'd be a stalker.
I don't know.
You know, because he loved Noah, right? So, and you know, I mean, if he loved Noah, yeah, honestly. Noah got his weird, crazy shit from us.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. We had to get snacks. Elaine got snacks for us. So, you know. We're gonna, but we won't like embarrass you in front of your girl or anything. At least I won't intentionally embarrass you in front of your girl.
Okay.
If you contact us, we definitely won't embarrass you in front of your girl. You know, but I am sending stuff to that registry.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to give you some advice. If you are a comedian
Oh,
and your girl is easily embarrassed,
this is a problem.
that is a problem.
No, we gotta fix that right away.
Yeah.
Maybe some medication if she's not already on it. Therapy. Therapy's a good thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the thing. But if she's dating you, she's gotta be really fucking smart.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
Exactly.
When do I get to meet her, Dwayne? I really want to meet her. I'm now feeling kind of possessive about you and want to make sure she's good enough. I'm sure she is. And she's about to have little Noah.
I was about to say,
Honestly.
she's about to have Noah as a child. So.
That's right.
Mhm.
You know what that means. That name has power. I think it has lots of power. Is anybody still out there? I just dropped it.
4 people.
I said they are, but
I don't know who they are.
you guys could like message us and tell us you're still out there. Like a little chat or something, you know. It'd be helpful for us. We're gonna wrap this up in like 3 more minutes, and
Yeah.
I'd love to hear what you had to say.
I absolutely would too. I love the comments.
And in the meantime, you know what we might do next time? You don't know. Depending on what you say, we might like turn on music. We
Yeah.
could dance next time. I mean, anything's possible. But there's no rules. There are no rules for us. We can talk about anything. We can do whatever.
We could have guests.
We are gonna have guests. We're definitely gonna have guests. We're gonna have Sudeep.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have Luna. And we gotta have there's a lot of people we have guests. Jasmine needs to be a guest. Jasmine, if you watch this later, you need to know I want you as a guest.
Me too.
Andrea, I want as a guest. Michelle, I want as a guest. Actually, I kind of want Jacob as a guest. That should be a very, very interesting. If we have Jacob as a guest, that would be very interesting.
Yeah, I would.
I got to convince Jacob now to be a guest.
Okay.
Dwayne, you have to be a guest. But we really want to be a guest on yours.
We're going to California.
Charlie should be a guest. What about Blaine? Blaine should be a guest.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Because, you know, getting different perspectives of age groups and demographics and because it says there's 4 of you guys still out there. Please message us. Skinny Girl Popcorn. Just so good. It's actually called what? Skinny Pop. Right? Skinny Pop. But really, the Skinny Girl whole thing, if you have ever ordered like the Skinny Cow and Skinny Girl, they got this little brand thing. This is just a martini glass, but it looks like that, and it's really cute. Okay.
I think we're going to shut it down.
1 more minute, and we're
Yeah.
out of here, folks. And really, it's much longer than we planned to talk,
It is.
but
I'm glad we did it.
it was a whole year.
Mhm.
So, I'm okay with
I'm
that.
glad we did it.
And well, stay tuned. If you've watched this either live or recorded, today is the 26th. Sometime in the next 5 days, we're going to have a second podcast.
Yeah.
Although I guess it's not a podcast, it's a video cast. It's what it is. It's a video cast. It's a
But
video
we
cast.
will announce them earlier, like a couple of days earlier. So
Yeah.
people have time to
Plan,
plan
Be
and
online.
log on and
all those things. We'll plan on doing that.
absolutely.
So, this is our countdown. It was good seeing you guys all. Thank you so much for joining us.
Awesome seeing everyone.
It really was. And thanks
Thank
for sharing
you.
these tough times and these tough comments, but positive, uplifting things too.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing with us.
Mm-hmm.
We enjoyed having you guys.
Thanks,
we'll talk
everybody.
to you very, very soon.